Think back to the moment you signed your Watkins International Business Agreement. Were you clear on your personal motivation for starting a home-based business? Did you take the time to complete the exercises in the First Things First section of the System for Success? Did you identify your why and make a dream sheet? If you skipped these steps because you thought they were fluff, now's your chance to go back and make a fresh start. On this tape, Finding Your Personal Motivation, you'll hear from 5 successful managers, all Maui trip achievers. Though the stories are different, they have several common denominators. Each associate is crystal clear about personal motivation. Each has a long-term vision of what they want to achieve, and each knows that their ultimate success is realized by helping others get what they want. Listen carefully. These are more than just great stories. They are a roadmap for you to success. First, we want you to meet the Koenig brothers, Mike and Tom from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Mike and his wife Annie joined Watkins almost a year ago and signed up Tom and his wife Shelley a week later. They've experienced great success. Both couples are now managers. Mike and Annie earned a trip for 2 to Maui, and Tom and Shelley are Spirit of Sponsoring achievers, signing up 23 group associates during the 3-month challenge. How did you get going so quickly?
When we started this business, we read up on everything we could read about multi-level marketing to try to learn the secret. And I don't know that there really is a secret. I think as you do this, you become better at it. I think your experience grows and you learn. All the time, you're always learning.
You can sit and you can read about it and you can try to learn everything you want to learn in that, but until you actually start doing it and you actually start taking action, it won't actually click. You won't achieve what you want to achieve. And once you start doing it and you start taking action, you learn. One of the things I've learned in this is that making mistakes are some of the best things you can do because you learn from every mistake you do. There's so many people out there that are afraid to make a mistake that they're so afraid to make a mistake that they don't do anything. And that's one of the things that I work with my downline is, I've been here before. I can tell you some shortcuts and things that did not work for me, things that did work for me, and that's what I like to work with them with. That's what I'm there for as a sponsor.
Action is motivating. The more you do, the more you want to do. But some people have a hard time getting into action. In the System for Success, we talk about identifying your action motivator, the thing that makes you get up and do what you need to do to be successful. What's your action motivator, Tom?
I just had twins in December. Every time I see them, I'm thinking about how I don't want to miss anything they do in school. I don't want them to miss out on anything in life because they can't afford it. I just want to be able to have the freedom to do what I want to do and to be able to do it with my family when I want to do it. There's been so many mornings on my way to work in the morning where I can't stop thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. And I know what that better way is. I just have to get there. And that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm going to get to. And I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be there.
People with a big why seem to achieve success much more quickly. What about you, Mike? What's your why?
My why is I want to replace my income and I don't want to work an 8-to-5 job anymore. So that keeps me motivated. And following that, every time I spend time working on it, that's my ultimate objective. And it helps you get over the downsides. Every business you start, whether it's a multi-level marketing company or a hamburger franchise, you're going to have your ups and downs. And when you have those downs, you need to have something in the back of your mind that makes you continue. And like I say, no matter what business you're in, you're going to have those. And when you have a big why, that'll help you through those points.
Most people think that their why is their money. They want to earn more money, but really it's not that. It's much more than that. It's what the money will bring them. It'll bring them freedom. They'll be able to do what they want to do. They'll be able to choose options that they didn't have before. So when people ask what their why is, why are they doing it, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is money, and I think they need to reach a little deeper than that to really figure out what their real why is. And once they figure out what their real why is, it gives them a lot more motivation to get there. I've told people to write down what it is that what their goal is, what they want to achieve with this, and then write it down and put it where they're going to see it every day, put it in their bathroom, on their mirror. Because if they don't remind them, if they don't see it every day, they're not going to remember it. It's going to fade away.
That's great advice, Tom. Is your wife Shelley very involved in the business right now?
She doesn't have the time to put into it the way I do, and actually I don't have the time to put into it the way I do either, but I find time. I think maybe that's the passion that I've got, and if it keeps going like this, I'll be the first one to quit my job.
There's never enough time to do all the things that we want to do. There's an unlimited list of things that you can do to help motivate this business and to get it to grow the way you want it to.
Doing the business you're getting out of it what you put into it. You got to keep determined. You got to be persistent and try different things. You're never going to get everything right. That's part of the process. You make mistakes. That's what you got to learn from. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you'll keep making them. I read somewhere, show me somebody that's never made a mistake and I'll show you a failure.
Your willingness to stretch and grow is obvious. So's your belief and passion. What's the value of belief and passion?
I've had people tell me that it's obvious that you're excited about this because of the way your passion for it. And I think that when you start doing the Watkins business, eventually it consumes you. And it becomes a part of you, and you don't stop doing it. I mean, it's something that I think about almost every minute of every day. And when I get off work, I come home, we have dinner, and I spend the next 4 or 5 hours working on our business.
Yeah, I've been told the same thing. Obviously, we both have a passion for it, but sometimes I amaze myself, and I wonder to myself how, after hearing the word no, or how I can still be so motivated for it. And I think it's just got to be that I completely believe that there's no way that I cannot succeed in this. I think a lot of people have grown up being taught that they can't make it, and I don't think that's the case. I think if you really put your mind to it and you really want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to get it. It's a matter of determination and persistence. You have to want it bad enough to make it happen.
I think persistence is the key, and we've been at this almost a year, and we're just getting started. And I think you have to stick with it, and things will happen just from being persistent and working it as hard as you can and doing the best job you can every time you talk to someone or every time you're at a show presenting the products. As long as you're doing it in a professional way, doing it the best way you can, you will succeed.
I think most people don't succeed in it because they don't stick with it long enough. They hear the word no too many times, they get discouraged, or they quit before they start seeing a residual income coming in. They give up.
There's nothing more exciting than sitting there and looking at your points on a Tuesday and finding out that somebody in your organization sold some products and you just earned a little bit of money, and all you did was show them how to do that.
Duplication is the key to recurring income. The kind of model the two of you provide must help you develop your organizations quickly.
It helps that Andy and I earned the trip, and Tom was a top sponsor in the U.S. Those are things we tell people, and we can show we've done this.
I sent an email to all my downline thanking them for all their support and everything that they've done, and I told them what I had achieved, and I told them, I've done this. I know how to do it. I can help you do it. Let me help you. I've gotten responses back saying, hey, I'm interested in learning more about sponsoring. What can you teach me? What can you show me? Because it's obvious you know what you're doing.
How do you find out what motivates your associates?
The more people you talk to, the easier it gets.
They ask questions. I mean, that's one thing I've noticed. If you have somebody on the phone and you can't get them involved in the conversation, lack of life force, then you can't do anything to get them to do anything on the phone. Chances are they're not going to do anything when you get off the phone. We tell them what our reasons are and why we got involved. That's the first thing I do. And from that, then it usually leads into a conversation where they will tell us what their motivation is and what they're after. I've had people tell me that they want a bigger house, or they want to buy a farm, or they want to send their kids to school, or whatever it is. And those are the key points you want to remember. We also keep track of that information so that in the future when you contact those people, you can remember that and you keep talking to them about those things. It helps keep them motivated. And the other thing you want to do is you always want to encourage them, even if they've got 200 points this month, or it's their first order this month, or it's whatever thing you can think of that will help them or keep them motivated. Those are the things you want to pat them on the back for. Everybody in your group is at a different level. And as they're getting started, when they place their first order, I send them a note and say, congratulations on ordering your first time. If you have any questions, give us a call. If you have any questions on the products, give us a call. We also send periodic emails out there to just little motivational things to people to help them stay focused.
What I've done is I've sent emails to my downline telling them, let's set some goals. We'll work together. We'll set up an action plan that we can work together to meet those goals.
Is there any way to tell who's really going to take off?
We watch. We look at those points every day, and we can tell who's doing what. And from that, you get a sense for who are the leaders in your group and who aren't.
You can also tell by the people that ask questions, people that come to you wanting to know, how do I get to this? How do I do this? I've got people in my downline that are coming back to me asking questions all the time, and that those are people that they really want to learn. They want to do what they have to do. Then there's other people that no matter what, they never respond, and they don't, that you can tell they don't do anything. I'm not here to convince people. I'm here more to sort people.
What do you do if someone is all talk and no action?
Honestly, we don't waste a lot of time with them because you can't push them. You can't make them do it. So they have to be self-motivated.
Yeah, they have to do it themselves. you can help them. You can give them ideas. You can
Give them lots of how-to.
right, but they have to be the ones that actually take action. You can't make them do it, and you can't do it for them.
Often it's clear that someone really needs the business, yet they don't do anything with it. How do you avoid wanting it more for them than they want it for themselves?
The way to get around that, at least for us, is to